Hello sugar buns, welcome to our newest hunter guide. It's not really a hunter guide, but it's a hunter persona guide. We'll have a two-part series in this because there is now a new hunter persona trait. Meaning there are two new hunter persona traits, which is why we're gonna have a two-part to this. Now then, let's get on to it, shall we, for the first part. For the first part now, we shall go straight into our notebook to check the new persona that we'll be reviewing today. And of course, the persona we'll be reviewing today is Constrain. Now then, the basic effect is when the one cipher that is furthest away from you at the beginning of the game cannot be decoded for 40 seconds, which is of course not available in Blackjack, but yes, it is available in Duos. And for Tower, of course. Now then, this Tower trait is leading towards Trump card, and of course it is the first set on the right, the first one on the right, meaning you can, just use this if you have any spare personas in your tree. Now then, let's get on into how this will help you immensely in your early game. Now then, first off, I will bring you to the single training mode because this is a mode where we are allowed to use our traits without any cooldown. And of course, it'll show us map information as well, which is why I believe this will immensely, explain to you why. It'll help me explain to you why this persona, wrong one. Why this persona here will really help you out against Cipher Rush. So we will change immediately to teleport here. And then here, as you can see, we spawn in game. We spawn near factory gate, and let me just immediately turn off the AI controls. As we can see, all the cipher outlines are blue, but the one that is the furthest away is white, meaning that cipher over there is locked. And of course, I will show you guys the map information as well, how this will work, right? See now, this is how the survivors spawn. This is the group 1 spawn location when you spawn, out here. And let's see, the furthest cipher is the one over there, so it's not in depth, but it's like a little bit just further away from middle. And then if we just look at the spawn information, right, we see here, so someone could be, let's say someone spawns in factory and another spawns in middle. There's two spawning near shack, and of course when we go towards shack, we will be able to see a survivor who is directly out here, right? See, so we have to 9 this out here, so there will be a survivor spawning outside the window here, and of course there will be another survivor right in the middle. Right in the middle. Where is he? Oh, right in the middle here. Now then, you guys may wonder, hey, how could this spawn location potentially, help me, let's say, avoid Cipher Rush? Now then, let us just look at the map information. Of course, when you spawn here, just look at my cursor. When you spawn outside factory gate, there's a huge chance that you're gonna go towards middle, right? So look at my arrow, you're gonna go towards middle. You're gonna see who's in middle first. And for the survivor who spawned in middle, of course, they know that they have to leave this location. And let's just hypothetically say you found the survivor, but it was a merc. Now, you ran towards middle and you see a merc running towards this way, right? Now, he cannot immediately decode when you run towards shack because this cipher is locked. This cipher, it has the white outline. This cipher is the furthest away from the hunter, meaning that this merc has to run towards the cipher and then potentially have to run back here again. Right? If he wants to rotate towards factory, that's impossible because he'll be wasting more time, if you know what I mean, of course. And let me just exit the customization right now, and I'll show you like another cipher spawn that could, potentially help. Cause I mean, of course, some people might be like, oh, it's such a huge gamble, though, Kuro. It is a huge gamble, but it is worth it, let's say. Like, I believe 80% of the chance that you'll be, wasting someone's time to decode a cipher. Now then, let me show you this. So, hypothetically speaking, this was your spawn point, right? This was your spawn point. So you spawn here, and then the furthest cipher is this one here, if you can see it. right? So the furthest cipher is this one, the one very in deep. I think this is what people call sandbox. I'm not sure, but the one here. So you come to the middle, right? The middle comes here to decode. Now then, what happens here with these two? These two will meet. One of them will run down towards this direction. What will happen? This cipher is locked. They cannot decode the cipher. Meaning now they will run towards this direction. Now, hypothetically speaking, if the merc was still in middle, if the merc is not, it was still in middle, he can decode the cipher, right? But then again, you know, he's still wasting time. In the best case scenario for us hunters, you go towards middle. This merc in the middle decides to rotate over here to decode. This cipher has been locked. No one knows. The survivor does not know. The survivor rotates this way to decode the cipher. But then this cipher is locked, meaning he has to run down here to the outside, this location. But of course, merc is here. So what does merc have to do? Merc has to rotate back into the middle again. So then the survivor who've rotated all the way down here to decode this cipher. Of course. And then you might be saying, hey Kuro, why won't they decode this cipher then? It's because the survivor who spawned in Shack will be kiting here. Meaning, if this is a decoder, it'll be very dangerous for them to, you know, decode in their face. Let's just be honest. And of course, you never know if Hunter brings Quenching Fist or not, which is why survivors in general like to decode far away from the kiter. It's just to give the kiter an ease of mind, you know, saying, hey, I'm allowed to use the 2 pallets in this area, I'm allowed to use shack, I'm allowed to use the windows here. Like all this half the survivor can use it to kite, you know. And of course, let's get back into this. I'll explain it a little bit further as well. That is Arms Factory explanation. Now we will go for Red Church this time. Okay, let's just give you another example for factory, right? The furthest cipher is locked over there, and there's only one cipher there, right? Let's turn off AI control. Let's give you map information. One of the survivors will run here to decode, one of the survivors will run here to decode, and the other survivor will run further away from middle. Because usually, and I mean it, usually Hunter run up this way, right? To see which survivor is running towards that cipher. And because of this, survivors are able to get, you know, tinnitus. Survivors are able to get tinnitus, meaning they know, hey, it's a bit dangerous to come to middle. Why not go here instead? And of course, the furthest cipher away is over there, right? Meaning, hey, if the survivor runs into here to decode, they can't decode, they need to run here, they can't decode here, they need to run here, they can't decode here. So they have to come to middle, right? But like, you know, the first chance, nope, can't decode, 40-second lock, come here, nope, can't decode, either has to go to middle or, you know, here. And how does this honestly benefit you in a way? This benefits you meaning you don't need to run to the furthest location, because there's always going to be a survivor that decodes like the furthest away from your original spawn, right? Meaning you can come up here and then go back to middle to find another survivor. So like this guy will run up here, nope, lock, cannot decode, come here, nope, another survivor is already occupying it, so then he has to run either here or middle. If he runs here, nope, occupied, has to come back here again. See how this, you know, helps you as well. Let me give you another example. Let us switch map. Red Church. Okay, so we spawned here for Red Church, and the furthest cipher away should be the one in the corner there. As you can see, it's outlined white. I will turn off AI control and I will show you map information. Of course, I know. Like, this is one of the examples. This is one of the primary examples that I can give you that this does not work. There is a small gamble to it, but it's not that bad of a persona, if you know what I mean. It's a good persona. I think this could go up to an A tier persona. It's genuinely good. See here, so there's a cipher here, another cipher here, so these two will be decoding this cipher, even though you'll be running up here towards this direction. The survivor will most likely run here, and the middle who spawned here will be going towards, you know, Church. And no one will be going to the lock cipher, that's the furthest away from the hunter. Of course, your spawn point and the cipher machine spawn, the position they spawn, it's very important. Here, as you can see, this is one of the primary examples I can give you. So here I spawned it here, right? And I said before, so the survivor was supposed to run towards this direction like I shown you on the map, the cipher that I was running to. But instead, the postman is running to Shack, which confused me, but of course it's wasting their time, right? Since the postman has not been decoding and he's already sent out his decoding letter, he now figured out that the cipher has been locked, he cannot decode, and then he runs towards patient cipher. Now then, if I was a little bit smarter, if I, kind of realized that they rotated to shock, I wouldn't have spent so much time and went after mercenary instead, as you can see here. And it's already 50 seconds into the game and patient is not decoding. Postman has taken patient cipher, and now 1 minute in they have decoded no less than 50% of a full cipher. It's like 1 minute and 1 minute in by now, right? So yeah, right? But also hypothetically speaking, right, if you spawning middle, there's a spawn location, you spawn in middle, a survivor spawns in fourth cipher, a survivor spawns there, a survivor spawns there, and a survivor spawns here, right? And then the furthest cipher away is the one in graveyard. Now, how could this potentially help you, as I've said before as well? If the one that's locked in graveyard, and survivors love to rotate to graveyard, because it's a very nice kiting spot with walls, with pallets, sufficient enough for pallets, and like once they use the pallet speed boost, they can either come to church or go like, come here, use the window boost, use the pallet, use this area. It's a very nice area in a nutshell, right? So now, how would I usually rotate? I would usually come up here to find a survivor. Nope, I don't like. I would go over there because there's usually going to be someone decoding here. And if it's someone who I don't like, nope, I don't like. What can I do? Now, of course, I know that I don't have to rotate towards graveyard because there's going to be no one decoding there. And usually there's a cipher that spawns here, right? So you usually be able to find another survivor here. That's your third survivor. The fourth cipher will never be locked. It's impossible for the fourth cipher to be locked, meaning the fourth cipher is actually the corner cipher over here. As we can see. The fourth cipher is the corner cipher over here. This cipher here will never be locked. It's always going to be, down there or a graveyard. Because, for hunter spawn locations in general, you spawn in this half of the map. So the main locks will be down there, graveyard, and the other one near the gate, so this one. So if you spawn here, right, you have a spawn location here. If you spawn here, the furthest cipher lock will be here. And there will be a survivor coming here to decode, and if this cipher is locked, they have to rotate to another cipher. It still wastes time, it's nice, but there is a small gamble to it. Now then, how would this be unbeneficial to you? Let us switch maps. Let us say we want to go to Moonlit, right? We want to go to Moonlit. And we still have the same persona, of course. So we're just gonna wait a little bit. Sorry about this. So now we spawned in Moonlit, we spawned on Bridge. Now what's the cipher that's gonna be locked? Most likely a first stop, right? So if first stop is locked, it immediately tells the survivor, so let's just look at map information. If first stop is locked and someone, spawned in first stop, it immediately tells the survivor, hey, the hunter spawned on Bridge, so Bridge here, or here, because these are the only two spawn locations that the hunter can spawn in, here or here. And the further cipher, of course, will be a first stop. Now then, if the survivor find the cipher or spawn towards the cipher that has been locked, it will automatically reveal your location. So that's, hypothetically speaking, one of the only downsides to it. The other downside is, of course, the gambling that we've been talking about, but it wouldn't really hurt as much. Let's just say it wouldn't really hurt as much. Now, we will go through I'll just give you some other primary examples of how, this may be unbeneficial to you because they know where you spawn, if it's a 4-man team, etc, etc. So let us just go into mental map, read diary, custom script, and let us just go to, let's go to Lakeside village, right, spawn location. If you spawned here, the furthest cipher locked will be this one here. No one will be decoding that cipher. That's one loss for you. Spawn location 2. If you spawned here, the furthest cipher will be here, right? I don't think, would it be here? I'm not sure because, the hunter spawns a little bit closer. to this cipher here because you know let's just see like there's a half and it's at the bottom half, so this cipher will not be locked. It'll be the upper half cipher that's locked. Now for this spawn location, it's really dependable as well. It's really dependent as well, because like if it's this spawn position, then I feel like this cipher will be the one that's locked, but like so that's where it's unbeneficial to you. For this, it'll be this cipher that's locked, and like survivors in general will run here, they'll run up here and then up here. So then like if they rotate up this way, they know that the cipher is locked, yada yada, I don't have to explain. And then like this is like one of the locations that's a high benefit for you. If there's no cipher spawn in Seaside, this survivor stays here, this survivor runs towards this cipher. What happens now? Oop, this cipher I cannot decode. I need to rotate back to this cipher because Hunter most likely will run here, right? Unless you run straight towards middle. And then let's just go spawn point, spawn tree. So if you spawn here, the furthest cipher away, it's probably this one, so it's kind of useless to you as well. Yeah, it's this one in general, it's kind of useless to you. And let's change spawn again. So if you spawn here, the furthest cipher will be beach. It's useless, once again, nothing we can do about it. For here, the furthest cipher spawn, it should be this one, or this one, or this one. It's one of these three. I haven't spawned in here before, so I don't really know, but like if this is your spawn location and it's going to be one of these three ciphers that are going to be locked, hey, you're kind of in a really good position right now, because if this cipher is locked, right, if this cipher is locked, he has to run back here, meaning once you rotate in the middle here, you'll be able to get to Nidus, if you know what I mean, right? And so then like you'll be disturbing 1, 2, 3 person decoding the cipher, potentially speaking. And of course, this is all what I can explain to you for this one. This is as in-depth as I can. I can go through all the maps, I can go through all the routes that survivors can run, but that'll take an hour for me to do, and I want to shorten this as much as possible. So this will be the end of today's guide, and hey, if you enjoyed this, why not like, why not subscribe if you're new here as well. And I'll be making guides a little bit more regularly, even though the balloon guide is kind of collecting dust right now. I'm sorry about that, but since there's been so much going on right now, my bad. I want to commentate Wolf versus vs SST as well, but hey, for now, thank you for coming, thank you for joining, thank you for watching this. I hope you learned something new, and as always, I'll see you all on the next one. Bye bye!